Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I am Surbhi Sirdana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative aims to teach you the skill and the art of answer writing. It takes you through one question and one sample answer every day. The answer is discussed here in the YouTube video from Monday to Saturday, and the model answers are also uploaded on our website. What you have to do is go to our website rajayesacademy.com. In the mains answer writing section here, you will see the list of latest questions or the list of previous questions as well. In the comment section for each question, you can either click pictures of the model answer that you have written to a particular question and post it, or you can type your answer, whatever model answer you feel fit, and our team evaluates your answers. It goes through your answers in a very detailed manner and they respond back to you with their valuable feedback. And this happens in just a matter of 48 hours. So I think it's a very simple process to teach you answer writing, to tell you how to score more marks in mains. So the topic for today is hate speech. Our weekly current affairs lectures go in collaboration with this initiative. So at 2:30 p.m. we discuss one topic in our weekly current affairs lecture, and at 9 p.m. we discuss a question with regards to it. So Mr. Amanjot took today's session for society, defense and ethics, and he discussed in detail the topic of hate speech on our YouTube channel. And with regards to hate speech, this is the question that can be expected in your mains, and this is something you should practice a lot. So the cases of hate speech have been rising in the country. How do you define hate speech? First, what are its social consequences? Give some suggestions to effectively deal with the same. Answer in 250 words. So again, yes, 250 words is you can feel relaxed, because the problem with UPSC aspirants after a few months is that they have a lot of content, and I'm sure if you feel that you do not have content with regards to this topic, you will also slowly move towards that stage when you will have a lot of content, but the question would be how to fit it in a matter of 150 or 250 words. So the answer is long. It's a 250 word answer. Let's look at the question in detail. The cases of hate speech have been rising in the country. So yes, that is true. We all understand that the cases of hate speech have been rising in the country. This is just a statement. So from here you know that your question is about hate speech. The subject of the question is hate speech. How do you define hate speech? Again, if you there is a definition that has been given by Law Commission of India. There is a definition that you can frame on your own with your actual understanding of hate speech, which you've got from recent events or from your descriptive GS syllabus. So what are its social consequences? So not all consequences, political or technical, nothing. Just focus on the social consequences here, because this is a question from GS paper 1. If you go to our website, this has been described as a question under GS paper 1, that part which deals with the society part. So that is the subdivision of this question. Give some suggestions to effectively deal with the same. Now see, the question here is very straightforward, but you need to be very objective in answering questions, even when they come from humanities part of your syllabus. So take a objective approach, be very rational when you are answering your questions. So the first part is, how do you define hate speech? So the definition will include our introduction para. So we are sorted here, because otherwise what we do is, in the introduction para we write something which is in relation to the first statement. What are its social consequences? This is the body paragraph 1. आपका जो body paragraph 1 है आंसर का, वो social consequences पे बनेगा. Give some suggestions to deal effectively with the same. And the final paragraph, body paragraph 2, will be discussing about suggestions. Now when I talk about body paragraph, I mean that these are divisions of your answer. We start with introduction, that is the first para. Body paragraph 1 doesn't have to be necessarily a paragraph. आप point format में अपना first part of answer भी लिख सकते हैं. And I recommend that you write your your suggestions and your issues or consequences in point format only. It becomes very simple for the examiner to read and to evaluate your answer. Then we'll see what can we write in the conclusion. So let's see. Hate speech is an incitement to hatred against a particular group of persons marginalized by their religious belief, sexual orientation, gender, etc. The Law Commission in its 26th report on hate speech said such utterances have the potential to provoke individuals and society to commit acts of terrorism, genocide and ethnic cleansing. Look at this introduction once again. The question asked you, how do you define hate speech? So yes, we have defined hate speech in one line. एक line में आपकी definition आ जाती है. Now in introduction you need to have at least 2 to 3 lines. The introduction has to be concise but it has to be strong. Also your introduction has to be in relation with the first statement. The cases of hate speech has been rising in the country. So what you can do is paraphrase this statement that in the past 5 years or 10 years we have seen more cases of hatred, more cases of terrorism, genocide or things like that. Or cleverly what we have done here is we have quoted the Law Commission's 267th report. If you do not remember the report, that is fine. Just say that the Law Commission said that hate speech results into the following things. So you do not have to reiterate the question statement, but you have given some additional information or some additional impact of hate speech, and looking at this line it would become very clear that you are very much aware about the impacts, about the effects of this phenomenon, and you are trying to bring the attention of examiner to this part, to hate speech. You're trying to bring the attention of examiner to this part. So the Law Commission in its report on hate speech said that such utterances have the potential to provoke individuals and society to commit acts of terrorism, genocide and ethnic cleansing. From here on, let's see in detail what are the social consequences. So the social consequences, first of all, see whatever part of your answer is in point format or your body paragraph, this content will be available everywhere. Now generalized content will be available everywhere. These 4-5 points would be available on every website, every newspaper article, Google News, whatever you're following. How you can get more marks here is by adding your own examples, by adding some terms and terminology that give more weightage to your answer, that make it look that you're clear about the concept, and yes, you can relate it with the current events also. So let's see. The relation between speech and violence is of critical importance. It can provoke emotions resulting in communal violence and riots. So this is the first social consequence that we can see: communal violence and riots. Second, it can be used as a tool to marginalize the vulnerable sections of society as it promotes discriminatory practices or ghettoization. The third one is that it causes fear and leads people to withdraw from public debate. And when people withdraw from public debate, what happens? Freedom of speech and expression is curbed. It impacts their freedom of speech and expression. Violence, discrimination, curbing of individual freedom is the violation of, is resultantly the violation of right of other people to live with dignity. So there are two violation of two fundamental rights being violated here because of hate speech. So hate speech can also promote majoritarianism by demeaning other religious beliefs and practices, and we know that India is a very diverse country, and it is our diversity that adds to the beauty and to the strength of our democracy. So it can promote majoritarianism, which is not something that we seek in a country or in a democracy like India. The fifth one is hate speech leads to hate crimes, as seen during exodus of northeastern students from Bangalore in 2013. Messages were flowing over internet, they were circulated over internet that crimes against them or practices against them would be happening. So in fear, because they were so scared, they left back to their homes from Bangalore. So yes, such things can occur, and these are all the social consequences. Some examples have also been added. Add examples from the recent happenings that you see, from the current affairs that you read in your newspapers. Now, what can be the measures to bring down the effects of hate speech or to curb hate speech in another way? So first of all, to curb anything, the first thing that you can do is, as a well-established, constitutional country, what you can do is bring new laws, bring strong laws and make the old laws stronger enough to handle such issues, make their implementation better. So effective laws covering wide ambit of hate speech with effective implementation of laws. So this is a very simple thing to say. Also, there was this T.K. Vishwanathan committee report which recommended some changes or inserting sections 153 CB and section 505A in the IPC for incitement to commit an offence on grounds of religion, race, caste or community, sex, gender, identity, sexual orientation, place of birth, residence, language, disability or tribe. Basically, if there is any offence on these grounds, whether through media or through, verbal accusations, that would come under hate speech if this section is inserted. And also you can quote this report here, T.K. Vishwanathan committee report. This is very important with regards to hate speech and general environment of hatred in the country and the environment of discrimination. Awareness amongst people must be aware what constitutes hate speech का मतलब क्या है, वो ऐसा कौन सा comment दे रहे हैं जिसका जो कि hate speech में constitute होता है, classify होता है, and they should also be made aware about the consequences. So if they are at the receiving end of hate speech, they should know that this is not something that they deserve and they can take action against it. Secondly, if they are the ones causing it or doing such activities, they should be aware about the consequences also. The third is your role of media. Media has to be held accountable. Ensuring accountability of media is very important. There are countries like Germany which impose a very hefty fine on social media if these social media agencies, they do not remove any messages or updates that incite hate speech or violence inside a country. So that is some example to look at. The fourth one is socialization, that there should be amalgamation and mixture, amalgamation of regional pluralism, religious pluralism, diversity and secularism in the country, because that is what our constitution envisaged for the country. That is what our freedom struggle and constitution envisaged as the future of our country. Also, again we talk about tackling fake news, covering hate speech. The government should bring out a policy framework to tackle fake news. As of now, it is tackled by Election Commission of India separately and other laws separately. A proper policy and a proper law against fake news has to be brought in. And on the possible harm due to the internet messaging platforms, to engage at a deeper level. In the conclusion, what we need is, first of all, to curb hate speech. Yes, laws are fine, stricter implementation, that is also fine. Socialization is one such one such point here which you should mention, that when people learn about each other's practices and they respect and love each other, they do not resort to such activities or practices of hate speech. It is just when they feel vulnerable or very egoistic about their position. Either they are in a vulnerable position or they are very much proud or egoistic or jingoistic. On the other hand, I would say that when they resort to such practices, so first of all, in a religious a country that is so diverse, hate speech erodes the idea of secular, plural and diverse India. That is something you have to make clear again in the conclusion. So this issue should be strictly and earnestly addressed with tougher laws and their stricter implementation. Again, you are winding up what you were trying to convey in your body paragraph. As a people who have been existing on the basis of unity in diversity, societal sensitization is necessary. There is also a need for involvement of religious heads to build empathy across religious lines. Religion is a very sensitive topic in the country. That is where our value system or the way we conduct our life, that comes from for most of us, for most of Indians. So religious leaders have to take a stand here if we want more peaceful environment in the country. So this is a suggestion that you can give in your answer. Also, conclusions should be your level should be somewhere should be the area of your answer where you can practice freedom. So if there is something constructive, something innovative you are thinking in your mind but you're not feeling confident enough, write it in the conclusions, send your answers to us, and we'll tell you that whether this is the right way to put it there or not, or how can you put that put that statement indirectly and still, you know, stand your ground. So yes, use your creativity when you are framing conclusions. In introduction, you have to be very formal, and I would say you have to be very strong about your views. But in conclusion, you can have some creativity, some amount of freedom can be inserted in your conclusions. So your creativity should reflect here in the conclusion part, and your body paragraphs should be full of examples. If it is a polity answer, they should be full of articles and judgments, and your society answers, obviously they should come with a lot of examples and interrelationships between what we have been reading in the current affairs. So this is your full answer for the day. This complete answer would be uploaded on our website tomorrow. I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow at 9 PM with another question on another topic. Stay tuned to our channel, and all the best to you.